market. And you know, from here to Kisumu is very far. So,
have you perhaps been in touch with the IEBC officials, and what are they telling you?
I don't need to. Because they were there when you guys were there, telling me, oh, you're supposed to be here, like it's not working. Then I'm asking them, what do we do? At all, you have to wait. My people are defranchised. The older generation have gone home. So we'll come and vote if they make them. Why rig me out of this election? If the opinion...
All right, the concerns of Professor George Luchiri Wajackoyah. He claims he's yet to vote, and actually it's true he's yet to vote because there was a problem with the KIMS kit at his polling station in Matungu constituency. Let's head over to Johnson Sakaja, who's voting at St. George's Primary School here in Nairobi. He is a UDA gubernatorial candidate, and he's there being identified, obviously ready to vote. But quite some concerns raised there by Professor George Wajackoyah. There you go, pictures live from the St. George's Primary School. But those are concerns expressed by Professor George Wajackoyah as regards the failure of the KIMS kit. Let's go back to Wajackoyah.
Shall prosper. That's the ground that we stand on. So you all remain vigilant, remain cool, remain calm, and we'll see this thing to the end. So, thank you.
What's your name? Another attempt to just try the KIMS kit. I have no mechanical engineering in my head. I've never done mechanics. So even if I go there, I mean, how do I answer that question? You said another attempt. How? I'm not an engineer. If they tell me they're not working, that means they're not working. Why would I go to do another attempt if they're not working? Unless I'm the most foolish lawyer in the world. In terms of the voters you have lost, would you give an estimate? Those ones who came and I have voted millions. I've lost millions of votes. You know, this is the strongest. The Kakamega County has the second largest number of voters in the country. And if you go everywhere I've been in the morning, especially in Muira, in Matungu Division, I've been to Bungoma this morning, everybody's yelling me. Sorry about if I answered you wrongly. I do apologize because I didn't get it right. You are right. But if I lose in my strongholds, what happens?
What is the next course of action for Professor Wajackoyah? Because now failing to vote is a very unfortunate thing.
Well, let Kenyans decide and say. This will be the first elections where a presidential candidate has not voted because the government has rigged him out.
Maybe, Prof, you're a lawyer of high standing, and we understand that just the other day, the court ruled that the manual voter register should actually be a complementary one. Why, maybe, what do you make of it that IEBC has not provided that as a complementary?
That's why you see me saying that I'm going to do away with some parts of the Constitution. Now you see the answers. This Constitution is vague, the lawyers are vague, the judges are vague, and had I been given an opportunity, those are areas of the Constitution that you're going to look into. Because what is the alternative? The law, as rigid as it is what I was talking about. What alternative has the Supreme Court given to the IEBC? Members of the press, are you getting the reasons why I've been saying that some areas of the Constitution ought to be reformed? What alternative is Chebukati given? If somebody has cleverly gone to court and eaten with the judges to make sure that Ruto gets his way, because Ruto was advocating for that, so that they can rig the election. This is how they are rigging the election. Tufanya hivi, Professor ameshindwa kuingia kwa sisi, I've refused to join them. This is an allegation I'm making. And I take it to myself. So do not be responsible for it. Ndio sasa, tukistarve yeye, the way I'm being starved, you'll have no alternative. Now, what if Chebukati came in the manual, and the court has overruled against the manual? Then I vote through the manual. Will that not be an illegality? Members of the fourth estate? Why would I, as poor as I am, a small person, now if I go there and stand and say, oh, they have now come back at 8 in the evening, we vote for 11 hours, you think those old men are going to come back? Is that not indirect rigging? I am pained. But what can I do? I've done listen to the conversation. They said they have died, you can't vote. They're waiting. I said it's fine. Peacefully I walked away.
In other polling stations, the POs are having alternatives. In case a name is appearing, but perhaps the fingerprints are not appearing, there's a way they are ensuring that this voter does not go away. Especially the elderly, they have a problem with their fingerprints. But they are using alternatives to make sure that these elderly are able to vote. So in your case, given this particular situation, because you said that you leave it to Kenyans to decide, masses of Kenyans cannot decide. So what exactly is your next course of action?
No. You asked me a question, but then you deviated from it. You asked me what happened. Let's start it from there. I went there and they said, this is where you are supposed to vote. But unfortunately, the machines are not working, so they could not even have the opportunity to take my fingerprints. But then, however, they told me that they are talking to, and they are going to go into the manual. Then my question is, the Supreme Court ruled against the manual. Is it Court of Appeal? Yesterday. So what manual is going to be manual? You know, that's a question that one ought to. Only a fool, Katanga's fool, can look at the way things the way I'm looking at. Now, even if they brought the manual, and then I participate in the manual, by the Supreme Court decision yesterday, the Court of Appeal, how manual is going to be manual? If they make this, the kids, what about people who are old who have come in and they have been told, and then they are saying, we shall now do the 11 hours for it. This man has come from very far, coming. Maybe he was brought in a wheelchair, then taken back. Who will bring him again? Those are questions that we need to ask. Which means that these guys knew that I was going to win this election outright. That's why they started with 14%, 11%, the opinion poll bastards. 14%, 11%, lunatics. They are lunatics, I'm sorry to say that. Then they came in and they said 5%, now 2%. So that I don't come out. But if it is the president doing this, he will have to be accountable. If it's Uhuru Kenyatta doing this, because he has said Raila must win, he will have to be accountable because he's the president of this country.
Do you think these elections will be postponed?
Why postpone? How much money has been? It's up to them. If they want to bring in a lame duck president, we shall have alternatives. They are always available.
And which are the alternatives?
Yeah, you ask me stupid questions, I give you stupid answers. You have asked me stupid questions, you have come here. Please don't ask me any question, I'll not answer you. Next question.
Prof, the second question that I was asking, you had said that you leave it to Kenyans to decide. The masses of Kenyans...
Clearly, Professor George